All right, doing something a little bit different this morning. We have done thousands of episodes. Literally thousands. I don't know very many people that can say that, but we've done thousands of episodes of this show, hashtag Rise and Grind. And over the years, there's lots of things that you've seen and probably plenty of things you haven't seen yet. But there's lots of things that you've seen. There's lots of things that have repeated. There's lots of things that you've seen many, many, many times. You're like, I've seen Glenn do that before. I've heard Glenn talk about that before. But what's about to happen on today's episode of Rise and Grind, I guarantee you, hands down, without a doubt, you've never seen before. I guarantee you, hands down, without a doubt, it has never happened in over 2,000 episodes of this show. You are about to see something that we've never, ever, ever experienced. And in order for you to understand it, I got to back up just a little bit. So, woke up this morning. Well, actually, let's back up even a little bit further. Last night, a little extra tired at the end of the night. Probably the heat, being outside, a lot of intense things going on here as an organization. And so last night I was like a little bit extra tired. And so I did something that I try not to do often, which is basically I went to sleep 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes. It ended up being 15 minutes. But anyways, I went to bed earlier than I normally go to bed. Now, I am, if you don't know who I am, my name is Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine. Long time ago, I learned about sleep cycles and the importance of sleeping in chunks of time that ultimately fall in line with your sleep cycles. So when you go to bed, when you actually go to sleep 15, 20 minutes early, you can kind of screw things up, and here's why. So because I went to bed 15, 20 minutes early, when it came time for my alarm clock to actually go off, I was now into a third sleep cycle. Now, normally my alarm clock goes off right when I'm like at peak alertness in my sleep. And so everything's timed for that reason. And when that happens, when you wake up, you just feel energetic, excited, ready to take on the world. It really doesn't matter if you've slept one sleep cycle, two sleep cycles, three sleep cycles. But because I went into a third sleep cycle and then woke up, dude, it was like, it's been tough. Been tough this morning to get like really going. And so I did something, and I'm telling you, this has never happened before on this show, ever. No matter how many times you've been here, you've never seen this. So I did something I've never done. What's up, Scott Simons? How you doing, Greg? I did something I've never done. You ready? I'm here in the office, and in the office we have coffee. There's a coffee machine in the office. That's right. There's a coffee machine. I don't know if you can see the little steam coming off it. There's steam coming off this thing. That's right. This morning I was like, man, I am just feeling a little bit under. And since I have changed a lot of things this year, like no nicotine, I haven't had any alcohol this year. I've been working out every single day. Like, for those of you that know me, for 48 years, I've never drank like caffeine. I've never been a caffeine person. Like, I've had caffeine a time or two, but I'm just not a caffeine person. But this morning I was like, I got to get me some coffee. So how do you drink this stuff without burning the heck out of your tongue is what I'm curious. Because the very first sip I took, I was like, and maybe that's how coffee wakes you up. It wakes you up by burning you first thing in the morning. And then you're like, whoa, I'm awake because I'm burnt. Or I don't know, but I'm going to do something that's never been done before. I'm going to sip coffee on Rise and Grind, and Heather Parody is going to poop herself. She's going to be so excited because Heather is like the coffee queen of the world. And she's always thought I was an alien. She's always thought I was an alien because I don't drink coffee. Now, this is some sort of like Starbucks caramel K-cup or something. Hi, Liza. Liza said, I just started drinking coffee at age 47 and I only drink it. That's crazy. I'm going to start drinking coffee at 48 and then so ice is the key. Okay, Tony says throw some milk in there. All right, Greg Becker says he drinks it all day right up until he goes to bed. What's up, Ramona? The wake-up effect comes in 30 to 45 minutes. Well, that doesn't help me for right now. I thought it was like going to help me right now. You have to drink it and in hopes that it'll make you more awake in 45 minutes? That's no good. Anyways, it's a caramel one. I put a couple of French vanilla creamers in there or something like that. And anyways, I do have a heck of a show for you though, so we should probably get into that. But I just wanted to share that experience with you. First time ever. Mark it down. Episode 2012, I think. Episode 2012. Glenn drank coffee.
Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right, today is Tuesday, a.k.a. Taco Tuesday in the Lundy world. And we actually have a championship softball game tonight. My daughter, Meredith, last night in the tournament, had a great game. They won their game 11-1. It was a great game for them. They won their game 11-1, and they are in the championships tonight. So Taco Tuesday will happen out at the ball field. I don't know if we'll get any tacos, but we are hopefully going to take home a trophy. We'll call it Trophy Tuesday. How about that? Today is Trophy Tuesday. I like that. You know what? As a matter of fact, we should all find a way to give ourselves a trophy today. You have been working hard. I know you have. You have been working hard. You've been busting your tail off. It's like hot. We're getting sweaty. Did you know there's 3 states in the United States of America right now that are under winter storm warnings while the rest of the country's under a heat dome? It's very interesting. But you deserve a trophy. So find a way to give yourself a trophy today, Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Again, like I said, pretty warm around here, but that is what summer is all about, right? Summer is about heat. Summer is about hot. Summer is about being outside. Summer is the season that we look forward to as humans, and then we complain about once it gets here. Now, I do understand there is a heat dome, which is new vernacular. There's a lot of new things that are happening at 48 years old. At 48 years old, for the first time, I'm drinking coffee. And trying not to burn myself, but I'm drinking coffee, and at 48 years old for the first time, I'm hearing about a nationwide heat dome. Never heard of this before. But this is also the time of the year where we're headed into the holiday season. We're headed into, when I say the holiday season, the 4th of July, my favorite holiday, a holiday where we bring people together and we have an amazing fireworks show and we have live music and we have tons of food and we have all these things and everyone's welcome. All the people in the neighborhood, we got people that come from out of town, people that come from all over the place. They all come to our big 4th of July celebration where we create this nostalgic experience, where we create this romantic experience, where we create an opportunity for the kids to run around with sparklers and water guns and hot dogs and hamburgers, and we do all things America. All things America. And yesterday, we kicked off this new series called Born in the USA, and we talked about how you and I, those of us that were born here in America, nothing against any of my friends born anywhere else, but those of us that were born here in America got a bit of a lottery ticket because only 4% of the world's population is actually born here in America. And it is a nation where a guy like me can come from small means, go through a season of homelessness, break out of addiction, from going in and out of jail, A guy like me can find Jesus, rebuild his family, build a company, speak on stages, get to do a live show every single morning at 5:30 a.m. with a bunch of people, a bunch of crazy, phenomenal people. And I say crazy like period, and then I say phenomenal, not necessarily crazy phenomenal, just you're crazy and phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure we put the period in there. Kurt McFarland. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And yesterday we finished off on a scripture from the best-selling book of all time, and it said, to whom much is given, much is required. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more today. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on this show? We got to do some dancing. We got to do some dancing on this show. We got to get our bodies in motion, because an object in motion stays in motion. And an object at rest stays at rest. So we got to get moving. Listen, if you're working out right now, maybe you're on a run right now. If you're on a run right now, I need you to pick up the pace. This is going to be about a 2-minute song. I'm going to sip on my coffee because apparently that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm just going to sip on it a little bit while you run harder. That's right. I'm going to sip on it while you run faster. There you go. If you're on a run, just keep going. You got about 1:30 left. Maybe you're in the gym. Maybe you're working out. I want you to increase the intensity. What's up, Ben St. Hours? How are you? Increase the intensity for the next 1 minute and 20 seconds, whatever it is that you're doing, all right? Maybe you're in the car. You're going to increase the intensity by dancing. That's going to shift your frequency. Maybe you're at the office. You're going to intense your intensity by doing some dancing. It's going to shift your frequency. No matter where you are in the world. All right, let's get it going. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. And last but not least, this is the part of the show where I need you to say good morning to me, and I'm going to say good morning to you. Now, this is really important. Even if you're watching on replay, drop a good morning in there so that I know you stopped by, and I'll go back later today, and I'll hit you back, all right? You got about 30 seconds left on the song. For those of you that are running intensely, Young and Johnson, good morning to you, sir. Ben St. Hours, good morning. Thanks for being here. Tony Thorstad is in the building. Robin Wilshans, good morning. Maria Lind, good morning. Dana Fishbein, thanks for being here. Julio Soto, what's up, Julio Soto? Thanks for being in the building. Wendy Reeves is here this morning. Julio Soto's from Puerto Rico, if I remember correctly. Greg Becker's drinking coffee. Luis Grafton Nonis is in the building. Christina Howard, good morning. Robert Pollard, good morning. Jeremy Nolling, what's up, Mr. Nolling? I love you, man. Great to see you. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. Gene Hughes is up in here this morning. Mike Larkin is up in here this morning. Robin Price is in the building. Nathaniel Banks and many, many more. Janet Reed, thanks for being here. Scott Simons, thanks for being here. For those of you that are watching on replay, Heather Parody, Mi Madre, good morning, Mom. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You're the best. All of you. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, real quick, we are about to have a 2-day workshop for owners and general managers of car dealerships, July 14th and 15th here in my offices in Lexington, Kentucky. Shockingly, good morning, Linnell Burns. Thanks for being here. Malika Starr and the rest of my clubhouse crew. I don't want to say shockingly. That's not the right word. That's like a little exaggeration. But our response to this event, this 2-day workshop, 149-point inspection checklist, where we're going through all of the different aspects of a dealership with owners and GMs from all over the country. It blew up, man. It's a big workshop. We have oversold all of our seats, so we're going to rearrange my entire office so that we can accommodate more people. It is going to be off the chain. So if you're an owner or GM, or you know GMs that would find value, or that you want to invest in, if there's anybody you know that's a friend or a neighbor that's maybe an owner or a GM, let them know that we've got this event coming up July 14th and 15th. It's just a couple weeks from now, and it's going to be incredible. And the people in the room, the other dealers that are going to be in the room, absolutely insane. So you can go to 800%.life/events, 800%.life/events. You can get the details on that and get registered.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
To whom much is given, much is required. Now, that verse will mess you up a little bit if you really sit with it. If you really sit with that verse and you really kind of extract it and you really kind of dig down a little bit, it'll sit with you, because most people love the much is given part, right? Like, we love the blessings. We love freedom, right? We love that there's opportunity. We love having resources. We love that we can access platforms like this. We love that there's a chance that we could completely transform our lives. Like, we love all these things that come with being born in America, 4% of the global population. But that's the things. The best-selling book of all time doesn't stop there, though. It says, to whom much is given, much is required. And even if you didn't ask for it, if you were born in America, you were given very much from day one. So that means if to whom much is given, much is required, and you've been given a bunch, that means that being born in America is not just a privilege, it's a responsibility. You see, you were given freedom, but now the real question is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with this gift you've been given, Valerie? What are you doing with this gift you've been given, Jeremy? What are you doing with it? Like, let's think about it. You have been given access to learning. You can learn anything you want to learn. You can learn an instrument. You can learn a subject. You can learn coding. You can learn whatever. You can learn AI. You've been given access to learn any and everything. So my question to you is, what are you learning? Because I read a horrible statistic that more than half of the population in the United States of America will read one book or less over the next 12 months. So here we are. We have access to the information. What are you learning? One of the things I'm learning right now, I didn't bring it with me, but I'm learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube. That's one of the things I'm learning right now. Why? Well, because I was born in America, and I get the opportunity to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube if I want to. Right? JC, cherishing it by living my life fully in the present moment. I cannot wait till you and I get to do the podcast. Thanks again for your grace and understanding, as my surgery happened to fall on the same day that you and I were supposed to meet, but I'm looking forward to that time. So you're given access to, but anyways, what I was saying is I'm learning to do a Rubik's Cube. Why? Because I was born in America and I can't. What are you learning? You were given opportunity by being in the Lucky Lottery Club. You were given opportunity to build whatever you can basically imagine. So what are you building? To whom much is given, much is required. You have a responsibility. You've been given the opportunity to build, so what are you building? You've been given a voice. Who are you encouraging with that voice? You've been given another day to become the best version of yourself you can possibly be. So who are you becoming with this day? Because the tragedy would not be being born somewhere with fewer opportunities. That would not be the tragedy. The tragedy would be being born in the USA with all of this opportunity and still choosing to live small. That, my friends, is a real tragedy. You see, to be born in a nation where you can learn almost anything and still choosing ignorance, that's a tragedy. To be born in a nation where you can build almost anything you want and instead you choose to make excuses, that, my friend, is a tragedy. To be born in a nation where you can worship freely and yet you are choosing spiritual laziness, that, my friends, is a tragedy. To be born in a nation where you can reinvent yourself to be whoever it is you choose to be, and yet you choose to stay stuck in jobs, relationships, and places you do not find joy, places where you are tolerated, not celebrated, that, my friends, is a tragedy. I mean, here we are, those of us that were born here in the United States of America, the lucky 4% of the human population. We're born in a nation where we can choose to make whatever impact it is we want to make. We can create whatever legacy we want to create. And yet I hear more people complaining about the price of eggs than I do hear people talking about the legacy they can create with the way they live their life. And listen, I get it. I understand that affordability matters. I understand that grocery prices and fuel prices and all these things matter. And nobody gets it more than Glenn Lundy. I've got 9 kids, bro. I've got 9 kids. Groceries, it's a thing. The amount of money we spend on food, it's a thing. But here's the difference between some and others, from those that reach and achieve and those that don't. The difference is some people, when the price of eggs goes up, they complain about it. Others, when the price of eggs go up, they don't check the fridge, they check the stock market. You see, when the price of eggs go up, instead of complaining about it, somebody like me with 9 kids says, hey, little Lundys, go grab a shovel, bro. We're building a chicken coop. It's time to get in the chicken business. Because, see, you have to understand that even with inflation, even with the division that exists in this country, even with uncertainty that exists in this country, even with all the things that we can literally point at and we can say, this needs to change, we cannot lose sight of what still is possible here. You see, you got to understand, man, there's this powerful force called gratitude. Having some gratitude for what you've been given. And see, gratitude does not mean that we sit here and pretend that America is perfect, because we all know it's not. But gratitude does mean that we recognize that possibility is still alive in this country. You see, gratitude is going back in time, looking back through history, thinking about the sacrifices that were made before we were even born so that we could have the opportunities that we have today. Gratitude is looking in the mirror and saying, I will not waste the opportunities that others died for me to have. You see, gratitude means understanding that freedom is not just something we celebrate with fireworks. Freedom is something we steward with discipline. Because here's the wild thing about this whole thing. The people that founded this nation, they didn't know if it was going to work. You ever think about that? Like, they didn't know. We can look back and go, oh, well, they fought that war and the spy came in and then they were able to revolt. And then the King of Britain, pulled back because the cost of the war could not be justified. Or Jesus walked and then Jesus was resurrected and then he came back. And here, we have the benefit and the blessing of being here in the future. What's up, Mandy Jane? But the people who founded this nation, they didn't know that, dude. They did not have any type of guarantee. They didn't have any type of support. They couldn't just make a quick little phone call if they needed somebody to have their back. They didn't have Wi-Fi. They didn't have Google Maps. They didn't have, navigation and all this technology. They didn't have Siri. They didn't have ChatGPT. They didn't have a group text, right? Imagine if they had a group text back during the American Revolution, right? Like what would the name in the group text would have been like Revolution Squad or something like that, right? They didn't have that, bro. They had horses, which I know how crazy that is. They had horses, they had handwritten letters, they had candles to light things at night. They had courage. And I guarantee you on top of all of that, they had, you got to remember the time, dude. Like, we glorify these people now, but think back, dude. Like, a lot of these people had, wooden teeth. No deodorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people made a commitment. They believed in something when there wasn't all the convenience factors that we imagine today. These things, I just, it's mind-blowing to think about. But here's the thing. Those people back then believed in something. They believed that human beings were created for freedom. They believed that the government should serve people and not rule them like property. They believed that rights were not handed down by kings, but rights were actually handed down by God. And here we are 250 years later, and we are living in the results that they made, the results of the decisions they made before they never even knew our names, bro. They fought and created and built and believed for you and I without ever even knowing our names. And that should humble you the way that it humbles me. That should fire you up the way that it fires me up. And that should make both you and me ask different questions today. Instead of asking, what does America owe me, the gift receiver? But we should be asking the question, what do I owe this opportunity that I've been given? And that's the shift. Because, see, we live in a time and a season where a lot of people are entitled and they're sitting there going, I deserve more. Whereas gratitude is going, dude, I've been given so much. We struggled with this in our house with our kids all the time, man. Getting our kids to just be grateful for what they have versus always asking for more is always it's a daily challenge. Dad, can I have a cookie? Great. Yes. Okay, cool. 2 seconds later. Well, actually, can I have 2? Can I have 3? Can I have more? They got a Gatorade in one hand. They see somebody else got a boba. Can I get a boba? Well, you got a Gatorade in your left hand. Yeah, but can I get a boba? And unfortunately, many adults are acting the same way, bro. You got roofs over your head. You got opportunities around the corner. You have access to all kinds of wealth of wisdom and information and knowledge and so on and so forth. You got all these things in your right hand, and yet you're looking at your empty left hand going, I want more. Listen, entitlement is somebody who says, like, hey, this is broken and someone else should probably fix it. Whereas responsibility is saying, hey, this is broken, but I can build something. I can solve it. Entitlement says the country's broken. Leadership says, then let's get to work. This is what this week is about. It's not blind patriotism. That's not what I'm talking about this week. When we talk about God bless America, born in the USA, we're not talking about blind patriotism. We're not talking about politics. We're not doing that. We don't do politics on this show. We're not talking about red team versus blue team. We're not pretending that the past was perfect. We're not ignoring pain, the pain that came with building this country and that comes with being a human being every single day. We're not going to ignore pain. I'm not talking about that. We're not rewriting history. This week is about remembering that you and I are part of this story. And it's a big freaking story. It's a beautiful story. And there's tragedy in the story, but ultimately it's a miraculous story. And the next chapter of this story has not been written yet. And that's the part that matters most, because the next chapter is going to be written by those of you that are parents raising children. The next chapter is going to be written by those of you that are entrepreneurs building businesses. The next chapter is going to be written by those of you that are teachers, that are teaching the next generation, that are shaping their minds, whether that be a formal teacher in a school to a grandma teaching her grandkids the ways of the world. The future is going to be written by the pastors that are shepherding people to a spiritual understanding. The future is going to be written by coaches and mechanics and farmers and soldiers and artists and car dealership owners and salespeople and nurses and truck drivers and the creators. And ultimately, the ordinary people who decide they are not here to waste the freedom they have inherited. They are not here by accident. They are not here by mistake. And you are one of those. You, my friend, are not here by accident. You were not born in this time, in this season, by mistake. There's a verse in the best-selling book of all time, Acts 17:26. And it says, from one man, he, referring to God, made every nation of men that they should inhabit the whole earth. And here's the part that's really important. And he determined their appointed times and the boundaries of their lands. If you're born in the USA, it's not a choice that you made, but it is a choice that God made. You see, what if the reason you were born in the USA was not so you could complain more comfortably than the rest of the world? What if the reason you were born in the USA was so that you could become a builder, a healer, a leader, a creator, a restorer, a generational curse breaker? Maybe you were born here at this time in this season so you could be a light. What if That is where we started this week. What if we started today, Taco Tuesday, with gratitude? What if before we talk about the problems, we start with gratitude? Before we talk about the future, we start with gratitude. Before we talk about what needs to change, we start with gratitude. Because grateful people build differently than ungrateful people. Grateful people lead differently than ungrateful people. Grateful people parent differently than ungrateful people. Grateful people work differently than ungrateful people. Grateful people dream differently than ungrateful people. Grateful people do not waste what other people died to give them. So today, here's your challenge. At some point today, I just want you to pause and say, God, thank you for placing me here in this time. Not because everything is perfect, not because America has no issues, not because life is easy, but because you still have breath in your lungs. You still have freedom to choose. You still have opportunity. You still have access. You still have got a shot. And a shot, my friends, is sacred. It's not something to be taken for granted. So listen, this week, this series, Born in the USA, we're going to laugh and we're going to learn and we're going to look back and we're going to look forward and we're going to tell the truth. And by Friday, my prayer is that you will feel something rise up inside of you that you've never felt before, just like I'm feeling this coffee that I've never drank before. But it's not arrogance. I don't want arrogance to rise in you. I don't want anger to rise in you. I don't want division to rise in you. I want belief to rise in you. Belief that this country right here still matters. And your life does too. Belief that your future is not finished. Belief that God can still use ordinary people like you and me to do extraordinary things. Because listen, my friend, you were born into responsibility. You were born into a story. You, my friend, are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you to be the absolute best version of yourself you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit below average or a little bit above, but the absolute best. And it starts with you making a decision today. Start with gratitude. And understand the responsibility that comes with all the gifts that you've been given. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an amazing day. Peace.
Let's go. It's 5:30 a.m. and the world's awake. Glenn Lundy in the house, no time to break. Husband to one, father to nine. This is the anthem. This is the grind. Single day, 5:30 in the morning, Glenn's leading the way. Husband to one, father to nine. Hustle the show, man, it's time to shine. Rise and grind, keep the fire alive. Motivation daily, we all gon' thrive. From the stage to the mic, he's one of a kind. This is the anthem, rise and grind. Before the sunrise, he's sparking the flame. Millions inspired, remember the name. Faith, family, future, he's leading with love.